So first phase is the beginning of your lunge. So you are balanced and your core is stabilized. You want to make sure that you take a deep breath in and you exhale slowly while moving into your lunge. Make sure that you have a firm hold on your weights and that your wrists are locked. Second phase here, so second phase of the lunge, so slowly going down. Keep your knee in line with your foot, make sure it doesn't go over as that's really important and can lead to injury. Keep your ankles straight and locked. You should be keeping your core engaged and your body straight forward. Make sure it isn't leaning to one side or compensating for any of your other muscles. Here you should also be activating all your leg muscles, such as your quads and hamstrings. Be sure that when you are finishing the lunge that you are just having your knee resting right above the ground but not fully touching the ground. Also make sure that you are keeping eye contact with yourself if you're looking at a mirror, or your head is straight and that your shoulders are not hunched forward or your back isn't overextended forward. For the third phase of the lunge, it's when you're coming up. So inhale, tightening your core and maintain activation of your glutes. Make sure you keep your shoulders back and your legs tensed. And that is the lunge. Here you can see that the core is not stabilized, so when your muscles are activated, the workout will be easier, less strenuous on the body. So here he's not stabilizing his core, which is also making him overextend forward. Another angle here. So also his knee is coming over his foot, which is not good for it and can lead to injury. So here it's a little bit better. He's a little more tensed, activating his muscles more. His wrists are a little more tensed, which is really good. And he is bending forward, not as much over the knee. Lastly, you can see here he's doing a proper lunge, so he's using his core muscles, he's using his glutes and his hamstrings properly. He has a firm grasp on his weights and he is not going over his knee. This is how you do a proper lunge, looking forward.
In the first stage of hip lifts, start with your back on the ground and the bottoms of your feet resting on the ball. Feet should be shoulder width apart and knees should make a 90-degree angle, and your arms should be resting on the ground beside you. In the second stage, you want to engage your glutes and abdomen, and while inhaling, slowly and in a controlled manner, raise your hips up so that they become in line with your shoulders. Make sure that there is no shifting in your hips, and your hips are constantly squared. Make sure that you are also not extending your back. Feet on the ball should remain still, and therefore the ball should not be moving. There should be a slight pause when you get to the top as well. In the third stage, you want to try and bring your hips back down to the floor the same way you brought them up, but this time while exhaling. You want to be still engaging your core and glutes. This is to increase stability throughout the movement. The rep will end when you return back to the starting position. Hip lifts on a stability ball is a great exercise to predominantly work your hamstring muscles, but as well as your lower back and abdomen. So what's something that Jess is doing really well here is that her knees are at 90 degree, she's sitting down, everything's great, but as you can see though, she's having a hard time engaging and squeezing her gluteus maximus and abdominal muscles before going up. So therefore there's a bit of shifting in the hips going, and it's not so controlled. So that could maybe be a little bit worked on, and her feet, or it could be a little more stable. So here Jess's feet seem to be really stable again, not moving as much as it was in the last frame, so the ball's not moving as much. There is still a little bit of shifting in the hips going from her not squeezing her glutes and abs as much as she should be, but overall it's a little bit better than how it was before. And so because of that, it's a little bit more slow and smooth. So here Jess is able to move a little bit faster in her reps. As you can see, there's less shifting in the hips happening because of the activation of her squeezing her glutes and abs before going up. Her feet are also solid on the ball, which is helping her stability. There might be a bit of overextension happening in the back, and so due to that, she could be straining her back muscles a little bit. So that can be easily corrected by just her not going up as high as she should be. Her hips should be in line with her shoulders.
So for the first stage for calf raises, it's very important to keep the legs within the shoulders apart. be well planted with the floor in order to go up. It's very important to inhale in order to keep the balance while going down. For stage 2, which is going down, it's pretty important to exhale the air, maintain a proper balance with your back in order to keep that balance and to not affect the muscles being engaging. It's very important within the main point of the exercise to hold for at least 3 seconds in order to fully engage muscles such as gastrocnemius and soleus. Yeah, here we can see Mallory doing a great job trying to get up her toes and engage the muscles such as gastrocnemius and soleus. However, due to her movement of back and forth and little stability, she does not engage the muscles completely. Therefore, she can be at risk of injury. Yeah, so here we can see a much better form of engaging with the muscles. She's well planted with the floor. However, we can see how her feet are going lateral from the body, which makes her a risk of a small injury in the future. Here we can see Mallory performing great calf raises. She's looking forward with complete balance with her body. Her back is straight, and by performing that small pause going up, she's fully engaged the muscles in the calf area.